My name is Simeon Djankov. I'm the director of the Financial Markets Group at the London School of Economics. In this research center, we do work on the policies of central banks or of governments, especially when financial crises occur. How do they react? How do they make sure that jobs are not lost and that economic opportunities are created, especially for younger people and first-time workers? The last financial crisis lasted longer than most financial crises in previous history and motivated a line of research asking the question, how did central banks react? Was their reaction enough? Was it necessary? Our research, jointly with Swiss Re, attempts to answer this question. And the reason for working with such a collaborator is that Swiss Re is one of the largest long-term investors in the world, so they have a lot of insights and data that benefited our research. The main goal is to see how governments and the financial sector, banks, operate under duress when financial crises happen and how they react so that they better provide resources both for households as well as for businesses. So far, what has surprised us in this report is that the more money the market gets from central banks, actually the more confused governments seem to be about how to spend this money. And the banking sector is similar, so somehow the additional resources do not react in the way that one would expect. What we find in this research between the London School of Economics and Swiss Re is that once the markets are flooded with money, thanks to central bank policy, governments, politicians in general, tend to think, well, we shouldn't then do too much reforms because the public wouldn't like that. So they tend to be more conservative and do not do the things that long-term are good for the economy and for society. Not in our research, but there has been a lot of research and certainly a lot of media analysis suggesting that central banks overreacted in the last decade or so, flooding the markets with a lot of money, a lot of liquidity, but that has not been good for the economy and certainly not for the savings of people. So prices have risen. We see in London, for example, that prices of real estate have risen dramatically. That's not necessarily good for the average person who wants to buy a home. In this project and in general in our research at the Financial Markets Group at LSE, we strictly follow the ethical guidelines that the school provides in doing this research. All of the research is subject to academic peer review. We organize conferences together with our partner Swiss Re, and in all of these conferences we invite academics from around the world really to opine on our research. In that way it's both independent and also it can be used in all of academia and the policy making.